Yo, let me tell you about Tyler, the creator. This ain't your average rapper. This dude burst onto the scene like a hurricane, shaking things up. He was loud, wild, and unapologetically himself. The game ain't been the same since. Tyler started young, dropping mixtapes and building a buzz online. He formed Odd Future, a crew of rebellious kids with a punk rock attitude. They were different, man. They didn't care about fitting in. They made their own rules. His early music was raw, aggressive, and provocative. Some people didn't get it. They called him crazy, offensive, even dangerous. But Tyler didn't care. He was just being himself, pushing boundaries and making people uncomfortable. And you know what? It worked. The more people talked, the bigger Tyler got. He became a phenomenon, a voice for the outcasts and the misfits. He showed the world that it's okay to be different, to be weird, to be yourself no matter what. Let's talk about Odd Future for a minute. This group wasn't just a collection of rappers. It was a cultural phenomenon that shook the foundations of the music industry. This wasn't just a rap group. It was a movement that resonated with the youth, the misfits, and the dreamers who felt out of place in the mainstream. A collective of artists, skaters, and misfits who were changing the game. They brought together different subcultures and created a unique blend of music, art, and lifestyle. Tyler was the leader, the mastermind. His vision and creativity were the driving forces behind Odd Future's success. He wasn't just a rapper, he was a producer, a director, and an innovator. But Odd Future was a family. They were more than just collaborators. They were friends who shared a deep bond and a common goal. They had each other's backs. Whether it was on stage, in the studio, or in their personal lives, they supported one another through thick and thin. They supported each other's creativity. They encouraged one another to push boundaries and explore new artistic territories. And they weren't afraid to be themselves, no matter how weird or wild it got. Their individuality was their strength, and they wore it proudly. They blew up online, using social media to connect with fans and build a following. They understood the power of the internet and leveraged it to their advantage. They dropped mixtapes, videos, and merchandise, creating their own lane in the industry. They didn't wait for the industry to accept them. They created their own path. They were DIY before it was cool. They recorded their own music, shot their own videos, and designed their own merchandise. They were truly independent artists. Odd Future's influence was undeniable. They changed the way people thought about hip-hop and inspired countless artists to follow in their footsteps. They brought a fresh energy to hip-hop, a sense of rebellion and authenticity. They weren't afraid to challenge the status quo and speak their minds. They inspired a new generation of artists to be themselves, to think outside the box, and to not be afraid to break the rules. They showed that there was no one way to be a hip-hop artist. They showed the world that hip-hop wasn't just about gangster rap or bling-bling, it was about self-expression, creativity, and individuality. It could be weird, it could be funny, it could be anything you wanted it to be. Odd Future broke the mold and redefined what it meant to be a hip-hop artist in the modern era. Their impact went beyond music. They influenced fashion, art, and even the way people interacted with each other. They created a community of like-minded individuals who celebrated their uniqueness. Through interviews and behind-the-scenes footage, we got to see the real people behind the music. They were genuine, down-to-earth, and unapologetically themselves. Their logo became a symbol of rebellion and creativity. Fans created fan art, shared their music, and spread their message across social media. Odd Future's legacy lives on in modern hip-hop. New artists continue to be influenced by their groundbreaking work, and tributes to Odd Future can be seen in various forms of media. From their early days to their peak, Odd Future's journey is a testament to the power of creativity, individuality, and the courage to be different. They didn't just take over, they changed the game forever. In 2011, Tyler dropped his debut album, Goblin. This wasn't just an album, it was a statement. Tyler introduced the world to his alter ego, Wolf Haley, a dark, twisted character who shocked and disturbed listeners. The album was raw, aggressive, and unapologetically controversial. It dealt with themes of violence, depression, and self-hatred. It wasn't easy to listen to, but it was impossible to ignore. The album divided critics. Some praised its rawness and originality, others condemned its lyrical content and dark themes. But one thing was for sure, Tyler had everyone talking. He became a lightning rod for controversy. He was accused of being homophobic, misogynistic, and promoting violence. But Tyler didn't back down. He defended his art, arguing that it was all part of his persona, a reflection of his inner demons. Love him or hate him, Tyler had arrived. He became a symbol of a new generation of hip-hop, one that wasn't afraid to push boundaries and challenge the status quo. Goblin was more than just music. It was a cultural phenomenon. The album's impact was felt far and wide, influencing not just music but fashion, art, and even social conversations. Tyler's fearless approach inspired a new wave of artists to be unapologetically themselves. He showed that it was okay to be different, to embrace one's flaws and turn them into art. His influence extended beyond music, creating a community of like-minded individuals who found solace in his raw honesty. Tyler's journey wasn't just about fame. It was about connecting with people on a deeper level. He became a voice for the voiceless, a beacon for those struggling with their own inner demons. Through his music, Tyler created a safe space for expression where people could confront their darkest thoughts without fear of judgment. Goblin was more than an album. It was a movement, a testament to the power of art to provoke, challenge, and ultimately heal. As Tyler continues to evolve as an artist, one thing remains clear. His impact on the world of music and beyond is undeniable. Tyler, the Creator, is not just a musician. He is a cultural icon, a trailblazer who redefined what it means to be an artist in the modern age. And with Goblin, he cemented his place in history as one of the most influential figures in hip-hop. Section 4. A Turning Point. After the Storm of, Tyler came back with in 2013. This album showed a different side of Tyler. It was still dark, but there were glimpses of vulnerability and introspection. The album was more musically diverse, with influences of jazz, soul, and funk. Tyler's rapping was more polished, his storytelling more vivid. He was evolving as an artist, exploring new sounds and themes. Was a critical and commercial success. It debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 chart, proving that Tyler's appeal extended beyond the underground. He was becoming a mainstream star, but without compromising his artistic vision. The album showed that Tyler was more than just a shock rapper. He was a talented musician with a unique perspective. He was growing up, maturing, and his music reflected that. Section 5. Tyler's experimental phase. Okay, let's talk about it. This album, released in 2015, was Tyler at his most experimental. He went full-on psychedelic, blending rock, funk, and soul into his hip-hop sound. Some people didn't get it. They said it was too weird, too all over the place. But that was the point. Tyler wasn't trying to make radio hits. He was pushing boundaries, exploring new sonic landscapes. It was a sonic adventure, a kaleidoscope of sounds and emotions. Tyler's production was top-notch, showcasing his growth as a musician and his ear for unconventional melodies. This album might not have been for everyone, but it showed Tyler's fearlessness. He wasn't afraid to experiment, to take risks, and to challenge the expectations of what a hip-hop album should sound like. It was a bold statement from an artist who refused to be put in a box. Section 6. Embracing vulnerability and growth. In 2017, Tyler dropped his groundbreaking album, Flower Boy. This was a game-changer, not just for Tyler, but for the entire music industry. This album was his most personal and introspective work yet, a true reflection of his inner world. He opened up about his struggles with love, identity, and sexuality, topics that are often shrouded in secrecy and stigma. The album was full of soulful melodies, jazzy chords, and introspective lyrics that resonated deeply with listeners. Each track was a journey into Tyler's mind, offering a glimpse of his vulnerabilities and strengths. It was clear that Tyler had gone through a profound transformation, both as an artist and as a person. He was no longer the angry, rebellious kid who burst onto the scene with provocative lyrics and shocking visuals. Instead, he had evolved into a mature artist, comfortable in his own skin and unafraid to show his true self to the world. Flower Boy received widespread critical acclaim, with many praising its honesty and emotional depth. It was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Rap Album, cementing Tyler's status as a major force in music and a voice for a new generation. The album connected with listeners on a deeper level, touching on universal themes of self-discovery and acceptance. It showed that even the toughest exteriors can hide vulnerability, and that it's okay to be open about one's struggles. Tyler's willingness to be vulnerable inspired many to look inward and embrace their own complexities. With Flower Boy, Tyler proved that he wasn't afraid to be honest, to be vulnerable, to be himself, no matter the consequences. He broke down barriers and challenged the norms of what it means to be a hip-hop artist. His journey from a rebellious youth to a thoughtful, introspective artist is a testament to the power of growth and self-acceptance. Tyler's story is one of resilience and courage, showing that it's possible to overcome internal and external obstacles. He inspired a generation of young people to embrace their true selves, regardless of societal norms or expectations. His influence extends beyond music, impacting fashion, culture, and the way we think about identity and self-expression. He showed the world that hip-hop could be a powerful tool for self-expression and emotional honesty, breaking away from traditional stereotypes. Tyler's legacy is one of authenticity and bravery, encouraging others to follow their own paths and embrace their unique journeys. As we reflect on his impact, it's clear that Tyler, the Creator, has not only changed the music industry, but has also left an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of his listeners. His story is a reminder that embracing vulnerability and growth is a powerful act of self-love and empowerment. And in doing so, we can inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of positive change and acceptance.